There's also a sense of deep loneliness. Even when you're surrounded by people, you can feel very, very lonely. And of course, you can feel like you're a side character in other people's lives. And when that's the case, then you tend to attract a lot of narcissists who will actually use you as a side character in their lives. So if this is you, hang in there. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just you've been given coping mechanisms that are blocking you from seeing yourself clearly. Hey, beautiful soul, and welcome to our module 2 of our little mini series of coming home to your inner truth. Today, I would like to explore something that to so many INFJs and INFPs is kind of an everyday life, something that they quietly carry. And in the INFX Unveiled healing program, I call it the Chameleon Effect. Now, if you've ever felt like you needed to shrink or adapt or even to disappear in order to belong, this module is for you. In this world that's really chaotic, where external leaderships can fail us deeply, we're really being invited to gently but firmly switch on our own light. We're invited to become more of our own trusted authority, our own safe place, if you like. Becoming that own best leader that we can always rely on. And to do that, we need to stop hiding ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong. The chameleon effect, it's a great survival strategy, and it does have its good sides to it as well. It is a very often trauma-related, and those of us who do a lot of trauma-informed work, like we do through the Academy, we see the chameleon effect as a useful tool when it's used consciously, and a self-sabotaging pattern when it's not being used consciously. So, as INFs, as introverted intuitive feelers, many of us really learn very early in life that being fully ourselves is not safe, it's dangerous. I don't know if you can relate to that. You know, it's possible we were maybe shamed by people in our lives. We might have been ignored, which of course leads us to think that, hey, there must be something wrong with me. We might have been punished. I remember one of our students back in the day had a single mother, and she was a very young child and she was singing. And the mother, who was in charge of these two kids, said to her, God, you need to shut up. That sounds horrible. Not because it was actually true, but because the mother was going through a really hard time. So it could be a punishment that wasn't even intended, or it could be an intended punishment. Or we might just be told that we're too much or not enough on the other end of that particular stick. So we then become those people that others need us to be in order for us to feel safe. You know, we read the room, we pick up on emotional cues and undercurrents, and we really adapt like emotional shifters. It's like we become safe for others, but not for ourselves. In fact, the cost to ourselves is that we can never feel safe with ourselves. But there is a truth behind that. And the truth is that camouflaging yourself and being a chameleon isn't just a weakness. It is a really brilliant way to protect yourself. And if you use it intentionally, it can even really help you integrate your life into a space where you use the chameleon strategically where it's important to use it, and then where you need to be safe, And then with other people that you can feel safe with, you can drop it. But it helps you really decipher who you want in your life, in what capacity. And that can really help with boundary setting. So camouflaging is a great skill. If you're still doing that out of fear for yourself, don't worry, we've all been there. You might be, hiding behind humor or maybe productivity, which was my pattern. Spiritual bypassing. Oh, yeah. I know that thing, but never really feeling into that pain that's in there. Or maybe I'd like to call it relentless compassion, but I think how it really shows up is compulsive caregiving. And at what happens, in those moments, there's a part of you that says, if I blend in, then I won't be rejected or abandoned. And you know what? That makes complete sense, especially when leadership, maybe our parents, our partners, school or society or presidents or prime ministers, whatever, they were erratic or absent. That's when this is particularly a great tool. But here's the cost of it. And I can speak to this from my personal experience. Number one, chronic exhaustion, adrenal exhaustion, whatever label you put on your exhaustion that is actually chronic, use that if it's helpful. Also, identity confusion. I remember for the longest time, when somebody asked me about me, like, who are you? Who are you? Like, what's important to you? What are your top values? All I could come up with is I like horses. I had no idea about anything else about my identity. So if this is you, hang in there. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just you've been given coping mechanisms that are blocking you from seeing yourself clearly. There's also a sense of deep loneliness. Even when you're surrounded by people, you can feel very, very lonely. And of course, you can feel like you're a side character in other people's lives. And when that's the case, then you tend to attract a lot of narcissists who will actually use you as a side character in their lives. So there are really significant challenges that come through this chameleoning if you don't do it deliberately. So we can't keep confronting ourselves to survive in a system that's not really made for us to thrive in, for us to live our full selves in. And the world is really shaky right now. Institutions are crumbling. There's a lot of conspiracy theory. It's hard to know what's true and what's not true anymore. And this is not the time to hide, but it's the time to really unveil yourself in a way that doesn't compromise you. Because reclaiming your authentic self is not rebellion, although it may seem like that to the people who are used to you doing the same things all over and over again for them. Reclaiming your authentic self is a return to yourself. And trying to do it all at once doesn't really work. If you do it gently, you begin the process gently, stay safe, surround yourself with safe people, and be strategic about it. That's really the most wonderful way to build a foundation that actually supports you as you and doesn't unravel your whole world in the process. And that's where, having mentors is very powerful. Like I've had mentors all throughout my life when I realized I can't do this and shouldn't be doing this alone. When I realized that I am missing a significant set of skills, I looked for mentorship. And if that's for you, you can get in touch with us and we can put you in touch with our mentors at the Sumalov Academy, our INFJ and INFP mentors. What we won't do and what I don't recommend for anyone is to kind of yank off the mask and create an unsustainable rupture in your world. It's almost like you're pulling the rug from underneath yourself if you do that. Or then on the other side of it, try and perform, like, that whole fake it till you make it thing. Oh God, I genuinely, that is one of the things that I I rarely use the word hate, but I hate it when that is being used to deceive yourself or other people. So don't perform. Be witnessed. Be witnessed in your flowering. Be affirmed by the people around you, as who you are, not as who somebody wants you to be. And that's what mentors can do for you. They can help you find the safety that maybe you felt as a child, but maybe you have never felt. Maybe your soul has never felt safe. But this time it's your real self, it's your full self. So let us know if we can help you with that, because mentors in our community do walk this path beside you. They've already gone through the process themselves to a large degree, and they will continue to walk their path beside you. They know all that grief of not knowing, and the profound sorrow that is in not being known and seen by others. They also know the joy that comes when you're finally seeing yourself clearly. Oh, sorry. So, getting back to the chameleon effect. We are in this season of global instability. I'm sure you've seen that. I don't need to tell you that. You may be exhausted of that as I am. We don't need more leaders that are faking it till they're making it. We don't need more leaders that are doing the status quo of, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and no questions asked. We need actual true leaders, the kind of leadership that comes from deep integration and self-trust. And every one of us have the capacity to be that leader. Yes, you have that potential. But not if you're still hiding behind someone else's expectations. We need to get your whole flowering to happen so that the whole world can benefit from the gifts that lie beneath your deepest wounds. Because when you stop camouflaging, then you stop abandoning yourself. And when you stop abandoning yourself, everything begins to change for you. But the first step is to learn to camouflage deliberately. That's the first step. Doing it intentionally will teach you when and how to do it. And that gives you all the power you need in your life. So if you want mentorship, your mentors are ready and waiting. Easy, not to fix you, but to welcome you back to your true self. If you want to take this journey alone, start with intentional camouflaging. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning into this session, and I'll see you at the next one.